training camp and the season kicked off here tomorrow. Hope everybody had a great summer and well rested and ready for some football. And as always, appreciate what you guys do and the coverage you guys give us, and looking forward to working with you guys here this season. Just a quick review. Last night, most of you guys probably saw on social media, we just had a great event, great moment for our football team when we opened the Brown family locker room last night. It was just awesome to see the energy and enthusiasm from our players when we are able to add another piece to our facilities here. And I can't thank enough of the people that worked every single day on this project, all the way back when we started having planning conversations to the design, all the details that go into it. Pat Hobbs for his persistence in trying to push this thing along. All the facility people, the development team, the workers that were there every single day, tearing out the old locker room, building a new one. There's so many people that put in a lot of time and effort and energy into getting that thing done, and they did it first class. And obviously I want to mention a huge thank you to Greg and Anna Brown for their continued support of just Rutgers University overall. The projects that they've done at this university, not only for the athletic department and football, is just amazing, and they continue to try to make this place the best that it can be. And last night was just an awesome moment for our team and for them and everybody that was there, so I want to thank them. I'd also like to just a quick shout out to Dr. Barshi. He announced there recently that this is going to be his last year, and I want to wish him well here in his last academic year. He's been very supportive of our program, athletics, and done some great things here at this university, and we hope he goes out on a positive note here with his last year of service to Rutgers. The 150th, we've talked a lot about it. It's the 150th anniversary of college football, and I mentioned before that we're really excited to be a part of that history, and we're looking forward to the celebrations weekly throughout the season, not only here on our campus but across the nation, to celebrate this great game, and looking forward to some of the special things that we have on game day here this season. A couple roster updates. I know you guys will ask about some of them yourself, but just a couple coming out of last spring. Zamir Mickens has moved on to medical scholarship. Will not be on our active roster this year. Zaire Lacewell is no longer with us. Transferred to Garden City Community College, I believe. Johnny Langen, I know you guys will ask about him. His NCAA waiver was denied, but it's in an appeal process, and have no timeline, no timetable on when we might get a decision back on that. But it's in the NCAA's hands, and we'll see where it goes from there. A couple newcomer scholarship guys. Ram Buell will not be here. I know you guys will ask about Ron Johnson also. He will hopefully be joining our team at some point here in training camp. He had some academic things that he had to complete, some paperwork that has to be finalized on Michigan's end and our end before he can actually jump into training camp, but hopefully that will all get cleared up relatively soon, and he'll be here. Injuries, you guys know I won't make a lot of comments on injuries unless they're long-term injuries where somebody can no longer compete. I will make mention that we will have a handful of guys that will be limited or miss some practice time early in training camp due to either postseason surgeries that they had post-spring or something that may have happened over the summer. We have a handful of guys that are probably in that category. The good thing is we don't have anybody right now that has a long-term injury that should force them to miss any games or any playing time once we kick off. But 2019 is here. It's amazing how fast the off-season and summer goes. The more you're in this, it just goes by faster and faster. It's a new year, new season, new team, new energy, and really excited about it. One of the things that I think is really cool about college football, every year is a new year. Whether your successes or failures last season, or whatever happened, whatever your situation is, it doesn't determine your next season. You lose players, you get new players, you got staff transition, a lot of things. Next guy up mentality when somebody leaves and it's someone else's turn. And I'm really excited about our team, our players, and the work that they've put in and how they've responded to last season, and really looking forward to kicking off training camp and watching these guys work here in August before we get started late. Some things that I've talked a lot about with our players, just our program overall, just some of the things that have changed since December of 2018. Staff changes, made some staff changes, very difficult to do those things, but I'm very excited about where we landed, and I'm mostly excited to see the players go out and respond to the new coaches, new technique, new energy, new voice, whatever it may be, with that particular unit. roster changes. We lost some guys, but we brought some guys in, both from a transfer standpoint and newcomer standpoint, new freshmen that I'm really excited about. Scheme adjustments. I think it's been talked about widely about having an offensive coordinator come back for the second year. That's very, very important because we have a guy that understands the personnel, the strengths and weaknesses, and can make the necessary adjustments that we need to for the personnel that we have and be able to put our players in position to have success. Off-season, we made some adjustments to our off-season, our spring practices, to allow us to have some more player development, leadership development, and culture development this off-season. We had Navy SEALs come in. We did a team retreat. We did some other things with guest speakers that I really am fired up about that I think has helped us move forward, both as individuals and as a team. And then just the physical transformation. We played a lot of young players that probably weren't ready, but that's what the roster was. And when I look at some of those guys right now, some guys have put on 15, 20, 25 pounds from last season. They look much bigger, stronger, and more prepared to go out and compete in a league like this. So those are just some of the major things that I think that we have been able to adjust, adapt, change, whatever you call it, coming out of 2018 as we head into 2019. And all of them are just in an effort to push our team forward. We know where we were at after 18. We know where we need to get to by the end of 2019, and we're trying to do everything we can to push the program forward. Just a few things on the three phases offensively. Again, I know that's a big topic of conversation, and we understand that we have to do better. We've got to score points. We've got to be more effective in all areas, in all positions, and we're working hard to get that done. One of the things that we have to do that will probably make the biggest change for our offense, we've got to protect the football. Our turnover takeaway ratio is not where it needs to be, and we've got to protect the football both in the pass game and the run game, and that alone will change, the narrative around our offense more than anything else. We looked at everything from A to Z last year after the season, the goods, the bads, the things that we adjusted throughout the season, and making sure that we make the necessary changes. And it all starts with the O-line and the quarterback. We've got to be able to block better up front in the run game and protect better, and we've got to play better at quarterback. And everything that we're going to do is driven by those two positions. And we know that we had to make some changes, and we've done that. We practiced some in training or in spring practice. We'll do some more in training camp. And I'm excited about what those changes are to help those players have success. I know the quarterback is another conversation piece. Coming out of spring, I'd mentioned that Art is #1 on the depth chart. That obviously has not changed going into training camp. We have McLean Carter that came in as a grad transfer from Texas Tech, and Cole Schneider, who is here this spring, is an early enrollee. Will be two guys that will be working hard to compete for the quarterback position, but Art is the #1 quarterback headed into training camp. I know you'll ask about a timeline. There isn't one. When we feel comfortable with whoever is going to start in the first game, we'll name that person. If it's Art, it's Art. If it's one of the other guys, it's one of the other guys. And there's a lot of things that will go into it. Mostly protect the football and being consistent and can be a leader for the offense. But I'm excited about the room overall and the way that those guys have come together. They push each other, challenge each other, and it's made each guy better this summer. Defensively, hired Andy Boo to be the defensive coordinator, a guy I have history with. We believe in a lot of the same things, coach a lot of the same things, so it was a great fit for me. Not a lot of schematic changes are going to be made on that side of the ball. I'm probably most excited about the depth that we have on defense at all positions. We probably have more depth, and not probably, we have more depth on the defensive side of the ball than we have in the last couple of years, especially last year. Defensive line-wise, we're hopefully by the end of training camp going to be able to go 3 deep at most positions. It's going to allow us to rotate guys and keep guys more fresh throughout a game and through the course of the season. We have not been able to do that in the past, especially last year, at least when the season started. Linebacker is one of our strongest positions on the football team right now. We've worked really hard to build that unit up and not only build it up, but create depth at all positions. I think we have that necessary depth to, again, be able to rotate, be able to fight through injuries that occur at that position, and just have competitive spirit for opportunities to play. And then the DBs, we lost some good ones, but I think we have a bunch of good ones back. We have some good young players that I think really shined in spring ball, and I'm excited to see them in training camp. Young guys, Trey Avery, not necessarily a young guy, but he was a guy that we were counting on playing a big role for us last year, both on defense and on special teams. Got hurt. He's healthy and back. Jarrett Paul was a freshman last year, played a little special teams. We moved him to safety. Christian Isian coming out of redshirt, Malik Dixon, we moved back to safety, and Tim Barrow. Those are all young players that we think have a really, really bright future and are excited about moving forward. Specialists and special teams, all of our guys are back. I thought that was probably the strong spot of our team last year. It's good to have Davidowitz back as our #1 kicker. He'll be challenged by Guy Fava, an incoming freshman we think has a strong leg, but Justin's done a great job over the last couple of years. We got Adam Korczak back. I think you guys saw him develop and grow and become a pretty good weapon for us last season, and excited to see that continue to grow. And then Billy Taylor, no one talks about him because he just Mr. Consistency, and he's back again. So I feel really good about those 3 positions and what they're going to be able to do for our football team. With that, I know you guys have a lot of questions, and I'll go ahead and open it up for whatever you guys have.